Okay, I'm about to make vanilla cream cheese pound cake. So the first thing I did was I'm gonna add 3 sticks of butter to my bowl, and I'm gonna cream my butter. Now this is butter that's room temperature. You know, I let it sit out of the refrigerator for about maybe 45 minutes, about an hour, maybe a couple hours just to get to room temperature. So now I'm just going to cream my butter until it's a margarine-like consistency. Then I'm going to add 8 ounces of cream cheese to my butter once it's been creamed. Gonna add 8 ounces, and my cream cheese is also room temperature. Just gonna combine 8 ounces of cream cheese with my butter. So now what I'm doing is I'm just gonna take my cream cheese and I'm gonna take my mixture and I'm just gonna cream it a little bit with my I'm gonna beat it a little bit till it gets a little bit fluffier. Till it gets a little fluffier. Just gonna cream it a little bit. Yep, just get a little bit fluffier. Incorporate that cream cheese a little bit better. Yep, just get a little bit fluffier. See how it's nice and fluffy? Get a little bit fluffier. Okay, so now once I get it nice and fluffy, once it's fluffy enough, I'm gonna add 2.5 cups of sugar, of Domino's granulated sugar. Two and a half cups of Domino's granulated sugar. Domino, 2.5 cups of Domino's granulated sugar. Now I'm just going to incorporate all that. Incorporate my sugar. Beat it in. So it's nice and well incorporated. Okay, that's pretty well incorporated. As you can see, that's pretty well mixed and incorporated. Okay, that's pretty well incorporated. So now what I'm going to do, okay, so once I get everything incorporated, I'm just going to scoop the bottom and make sure I got all the sugar off. Got everything at the bottom as well. Make sure everything is nice and fluffy and incorporated properly. Okay, now everything's fluffy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 6 eggs and I'm going to start gradually adding them, 1 yolk at a time. Incorporate that yolk in before I add the next one. Then I'm going to add the next yolk. Yep, 1 egg at a time, 1 yolk at a time. Yep, 1 yolk at a time. 6 eggs, 1 yolk at a time. One yolk at a time. It's my final yolk. All right, that's incorporated. You see there's no lumps. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of my homemade vanilla extract. Now, I could add vanilla beans if I wanted to. I could take one of these vanilla stalks and add the beans to it. You know, but I'm not going to do that. Or I could add a, you know, dry stalk to it, but I'm not going to do that. That's optional. And I'm just going to slowly mix it in. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start slowly adding my 3 cups of cake flour. I'm going to, that's 3 cups of cake flour. I'm going to slowly add that, incorporate that into it. slowly incorporate my three cups of cake flour into it. Slowly incorporate my cake flour into it. Slowly. Once it gets too thick to beat, I'm just going to mix the rest with my spoon. Once it becomes too thick to use to keep beating. I'm just going to start using my spoon. Okay. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to coat the side of my baking pan with Crisco vegetable shortening. All vegetable shortening. I'm just going to coat the side of my pans with these. Then I'm going to add one teaspoon of salt to my batter. And I'm gonna incorporate that into my batter. I'm gonna incorporate this into my batter. Then I'm just gonna evenly add my batter to each of my pans, because this makes 2 loaves of the pound cake. So I'm just going to add it evenly to each of my bread pans so that it bakes evenly. This will cause it to bake evenly as well. I'm going to add it to my pan evenly. And I'm just going to smooth it out. Smooth as I can. And then I'm just going to weigh it out on my scale. I'm going to zero out my scale and weigh it out. That's about 4 pounds. Zero my scale out. Yep, 4 pounds each. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these in my oven, and I'm going to bake them both at 325 degrees for 1 hour. And that's your vanilla cream cheese pound cake.